So we're chatting with the guys at HAIRitage Barber Shop about all of the biggest headlines. Y'all ready to talk?
Wait, hold on here. Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop?
Yes,
It's the barbershop.
Yes.
Wait, I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight?
Welcome to another episode of HAIRitage Sports Talk. Before we get started, hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. This is a place where we talk about everything on the outside, everything on the inside, and everything in the cut. We listen to the rumors, y'all, but we only talking about these facts right now. So we got a lot to go through. And at this time, I do want to bring in my man, Mr. Tony Harvey. Mr. Harvey, how you been all weekend? How's it been going, brother? It's good seeing you.
We doing great. We doing great. I do want to share my thoughts about Stephen Tapatillo, from Golden Valley High School down there in Merced, 5'8", 200 pounds, exceptional athlete. I saw some video on him, throwing the shot put and the discus. So that tells me he has a lot of skills, in that category. He does play football. He bench pressed 275 pounds and he squats 465 pounds. But what I like about this young man, and you can go to NCAA college recruiting website, and read more about him, read his bio. He is about team. Track and field is an individual sport, but he talks about it in a collective way. Also with, playing football, he is really, really, really concentrated, focused on helping his team to win. So yes, we are looking forward to having him on the show one day. I do want to congratulate him, getting the scholarship to go to Boise State. There has been a lot of student athletes that has went to that university and has graduated. They come back home with degrees. So we're looking forward to that. Tapatillo, even though, he's down in the Central Valley, you're still a part of this family. Congratulations and good luck to you in your future. You got a bright future ahead of you, young man.
I do want to get into something that we spoke about. It was a person that we brought up maybe about a month ago, Tony, and that's Sir Lewis Hamilton. I do want to mention he's a 7-time world champion. He set his fastest lap on day 2 of the Bahrain testing at 1:29.379. So he positioned himself just behind the overall fastest driver, Williams Carlos Sainz, while driving the Ferrari SF25. He's continued to do his thing, man. And what I really like about it is ever since we've mentioned that, I've seen a lot more mentions on him. And it's a lot of national pub that he's getting. Not saying he hasn't been getting them, but it's a lot more frequent now. What do you think about that, Tom?
Man, I think it's extraordinary. It's great to see what he's doing. And yes, his awareness, his attention, since we had spoke about him a month ago, has increased, tenfold. And he just moving forward ahead. Of course, he is a Formula One driver. He's a 7-time world champion in the F1. And it looked like he's on his way for, his 8th title and stuff. But he's really bringing a lot to the sport. And I like the fact that he's a Black Briton and stuff, and he's doing this. So everyone's seeing, that he's excelling in a sport that's not normally traditionally set for, people in that, in our community. But hey, I'm loving what he's doing. I know he's going to continue to do what he's doing. I know he drives a Ferrari. I'm a Lamborghini guy anyway, but I'm looking forward, to him winning some more titles. And it's just great to what he's doing, and it just to expose it to everybody.
We got a lot to get into, man. So we're gonna bring the rest of the team on here. At this time, I want to bring in Mr. Ricky Fame.
What up, fellas? How you doing this morning?
Doing good, brother. How you been? And I do want to say this, man. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Happy birthday, Rick Fame. Happy birthday,
Yes,
brother.
Thank you, brother. Ricky Fame, man. The Flyers in the city, man. Just having a wonderful birthday, a wonderful weekend. There's a lot of good sports on this weekend as well, too, as we're going to get into it.
Mr. D Speed, how you doing this morning?
What's happening? What's happening, man? What's happening, fellas?
How you been?
Right. What's good? Tone, what's good with you, man? Been
Good with you,
I had
D-Speed.
had
We
a
missed
cool
you last
weekend.
week, but that's okay. We got you back this week.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
I'm
you had
back,
to take
man.
care
I
of
had
some
to step
business.
out of the I had to step out of the office for a minute, but I'm back in action. Had a good weekend. Shared some
Welcome
dope
back.
experiences with my boy Rick for the birthday. It was cool. Had a good
Okay.
one. A lot of good sports on this weekend, bro. We was catching up on it. I
We got
can't
a
wait to
lot to
talk
get
about that
into.
fight. Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. We definitely get into that fight. At this time, we got to bring in our favorite Raiders fan, Mr. Elijah. It's a pleasure seeing you again. Another one. How you doing, sir?
I'm just chilling. Just I'm just here this weekend, just hanging out. Help to celebrate Mr. Ricky Fame's birthday. Pretty.
Hey.
Hey.
We got a special guest today. He's from an old neighborhood that I grew up in. I've been knowing this guy pretty much my whole entire coming up from like 10 to 12 years old, man. He's the head coach over out there at Monterey Trail, recently Coach of the Year. I'm gonna bring him on. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, talk a little bit about himself, and then we're gonna jump right into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HAIRitage Sports Talk, Mr. David Whitsett.
I'm good. Like Rodney said, we grew up together. I was a little bit older than him, but been doing this coaching thing for 37 years. Started at Highlands, went to Antelope, and now I'm out there at Monterey Trail.
Okay. All right. We're gonna talk
Fabulous,
about that
fabulous.
later. We definitely gonna get into your story later into this show. I want to jump into this real quick. Miss Juju Watkins of USC Trojans. She's a freshman and attended the school Sierra Canyon and Windward School out there in LA. That's her hometown. That's where she's from. She became High School Player of the Year, ranked #1 recruit in the class by ESPN. The 1906-2 guard has been named unanimous first team All-American, the Ann Myers Drysdale Award, the WBCA, Freshman of the Year, and All Pac-12 team, just to name a few of these accolades that she has accomplished. What does anybody on here know about Miss Juju Watkins?
She's played against us on the circuit, and in the 8th grade, I think it was the Minnesota Stars. She went off on the Minnesota Stars. I think she dropped 60. And if I remember correctly, I don't think that not one of her shots was a layup. We knew that kid was going to be special from the first day we seen her.
So you said in the 8th grade she dropped 60?
Against the Minnesota Stars. And the Minnesota Stars on the circuit is like the team. Now, they're a bunch of shooting kids. They do everything correctly, but could nobody stay in front of her. And she wasn't doing anything fancy. She was just doing regular old stuff.
Is that an AAU squad we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm part of the Adidas circuit.
Okay. Who would you say her style of play is like though? Like in today's league or even past league, who can you mimic her style, male or female? Just the pure ability.
Kenny Hardaway.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think that she's showing everybody everything yet.
Okay.
She's put the Trojans on her back, but she can go out and do some other things that she's not doing, I think, because she knows she has players that can do that.
She's an incredible talent. I know they played UCLA over the weekend, and some old people from back in the day came to see her play. Cheryl Miller, who used to play at USC, and Cheryl Miller's brother, Reggie Miller, NBA great from the Indiana Pacers, played at UCLA. They went there to see her, drop 30 points. I think she scored 23 points in the first half against UCLA. Of course, they won that game. Yes, she is an extraordinary talent. I am a fan of Caitlin Clark. I am. I'm just putting that out there. But she's only a sophomore, so she got a couple more years. She got all these NIL deals, and she got these endorsements. She's making a lot of money while she's still. But when she get to the WNBA, oh, it's on. It's on. Okay, I know there was a lot of talk about Caitlin Clark, all through last season, her rookie year. But when Juju get there, woo, be prepared. Be prepared because it's going to be a new revolution that goes on in women's basketball.
My thing is that Juju is a completely different game. We talk about Tisha Pinachero had one game. Tisha Pinachero was on one level, but she takes Tisha Pinachero and moves her 2 levels up. And I didn't think anybody can go higher than Tisha Pinachero when she was out there with that dishing. I don't know what's going on.
That's the extra part that I think that as she grows, she's going to advance that part. she really hasn't shown her capabilities of like sharing with everybody. But when she does, yeah, like you said, she goes to a different level.
Yeah, I've noticed myself watching her. Man, she has excellent ball control, and she'll pull up on you in a heartbeat in any range on the basketball court. And once she does actually learn how to share a little bit more, which I'm not mad at her because my man right here didn't share the ball either for a while, so he had to figure that out too. You know what I mean? So once Juju gets to that, she's gonna be a real excellent all around player. But she's already there at that level right now. She just has to get learn more about the game as far as she goes. But the girl's awesome.
I know we're talking about Juju, but her partner in crime, Kennedy Smith, is not going to be that bad of a kid either.
Okay.
She's gonna be that number 2 for her.
Well, let's stick with some ball, man. Let's jump to the little higher level. Let's jump to this NBA. We're gonna talk a little bit about the East. Just yesterday, the Celtics beat the Nuggets 110-103 pretty convincingly. Nuggets fought back a little bit in the end of the third and the fourth quarter, but they ended up losing to the Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers are leading the East. They got the best record in the East. Just 2 days prior to that, they were defeated by the Cavaliers. I asked the question last week: do the Cavaliers have that squad to where they can challenge the reigning champs? They can challenge the Celtics for that Larry O'Brien.
Hey, in that second game, it was like 20-25 or something like that, or something to 3. I think the Cavs only had 3. That series with Celtics and the Cavs. To answer your question, yes, the Cavs got what it took. If you watch that game in its totality, they came back in an unrelentless way. And then the league kept exchanging hands. They were battling back and forth at the end. But something that was dope in the beginning of it, in the first quarter, when the Celtics were heating up, Jason Tatum kind of like, they playing in Boston. He kind of was like antagonizing them, telling them like, this is our house. He really didn't say it in those words. I can't say what the screen showed, but I knew what he said. Um, I knew exactly what he said, bro. But to watch the Cavs bounce back and like just tear a hole in them, they got something. They gon' I think we just got a preview of the Eastern Conference Finals.
I think
Nothing
so.
against any
10-0
other
record.
teams. I
They
think we
won the
just
last
got a
10
preview.
games. You
I
right on
think
that.
we just got a preview. That was dope to watch, and it was good basketball, bro. It was like little, you know me. I'm an old school young OG. I like the old school feel of the game. That was like that rivalry, bro, and I
That
like it.
really was.
I
The
like
Cavs
it.
look like they look like the squad that from that side. But there's also you got the Knicks. The Knicks are sitting at 40-20 right now, right? And they
Hmm.
7-3 in games. Not only are the Knicks, but do we count the Bucks out? I mean, do we really count Milwaukee out of this?
You can't. You can't. You got that. You got that whole Brookfield giant over there and Damian Lillard. So it's always going to be, Dame time. I like him. I think he's one of the. He's now getting the accolades, but he's still to me underrated. But then you got Giannis. Now over there in New York, I was telling Rick this the other day. I'm gonna always be a supporter of Cat, Carl Anthony, because dude balling over there.
The beast,
New
man.
York New York already has some little young gunners. But Cat is really, it's like you can kind of see the youth in him be rejuvenated. I don't know if that comes with moving to a new team that you feel like a better fit. It's a possibility. Look what Luka doing over there in LA. I mean,
That's true. And
They
and
say
then
it's something about playing in Madison Square Garden that
boy,
elevates your
listen,
game, and I think that's what's
Man,
happening, with Karl Anthony Town over there. Same way with Luka, playing down there in La La Land. Y'all know,
yep,
that's Showtime business and stuff. So yeah, DSP, that's a good point.
off top.
yeah.
He has
Going
he
back
has
to
upped his
that,
game.
mention that Boston game again in Cleveland. Did you guys see that dunk Donovan Mitchell did on top of White
Ooh,
Ooh,
let's talk about
baseline? Donovan, yeah,
hey,
Donovan went baseline and just double hand, both hands, and just crammed it in the paint. Like the brother has so much, athletic ability. Man, Donovan Mitchell was one of the, one of the top. I want to say about top 10 in the league.
what you think? Do you think he slept on though? You think Donovan
Yeah,
Mitchell has
yeah,
slept on as
he is,
far
but
as
he's not really. he's not as consistent as he needs to be.
I agree.
I think he needs to be a little more consistent. Then he'll be considered a little bit more, up there in the rankings as far as the top NBA players.
I think that sometimes he forces it, but he's got some young cats around him that are making that team special. When he got traded, everybody said that, oh well, we won't hear about Donovan Mitchell no more. But I think that he's got those young bucks together, and they're going to be scary because this is the time of the year that the cream rises. So it's going to be kind of scary to see what they're going to do.
This is where you see what you got, what your team got, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. They balling, balling. Whether it's the Cavs, whether it's the Celtics, even with Bucks and the Knicks, these young dudes, and I'm surprised these young dudes is balling. It's kind of like they kind of challenging the veterans in a little bit to step your game up. Not necessarily saying we better than you, but we here, and we're not going to be intimidated by your celebrity, your status, your tenure in this league. We coming for your neck.
Yeah, I also want to send a shout out to Jared Allen, the center of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He dunked on John Morant so hard he had to hug him on the way down. And then he laughed.
No, I don't know.
He dunked on him so hard he just had to hug him. He just laughed. They both laughed at each other because he dunked on him so hard, man. John can only do is just laugh and hug him, man.
I gotta watch that one.
Oh yeah, he dunked on John Morant, Jared Allen, yeah.
It was ugly.
Dunked on with both hands in the paint, man. And Ja always challenge. I give Ja something. Ja, he will challenge anybody, no matter who he is. He can be a point guard, a 7-foot center. He's gonna try to block the ball.
Right.
And he just wasn't tall. He just wasn't big enough for Jared.
He didn't have it in him.
Oh man, he wasn't big enough, man.
Oh no.
He said he hugged him on the way
all the way down to the ground, all the way down into the Alabama, hugging him. He hugged him.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he did.
Show me how you hugged him.
Started laughing at each other.
Show me how you hugged him.
Show me how you hugged him. Like, hug yourself. Show me how you
hugged him like this.
Bro, that's the Wakanda Forever sign.
Bro.
That's not a hug. That's Wakanda Forever.
Go check his highlight out. Go check his highlight out.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever. So let's round out that top 6 over there, y'all. You still got the Pacers and the Pistons. That's 5th and 6th right there. And not only that, we still got Orlando and Atlanta that can mix it up, and that little playing spot. So how are we really feeling about the bottom half of that East?
I don't know, man. The Magic seem like they just got a half-court game. They can't shoot that well. Okay, I do love what Paolo Banchero, what they do and stuff, and I know he was out for a little while, towards the end of the year, coming into the first of the year. I still think they can get it off there. I do like what the coach Jamal Mosley is doing. He's keeping things together. Right now they're sitting in the number 8 spot. They're right behind the Heat, but every game counts. Every game counts for them. Down there, especially down there. When you in that play-in territory, because if you playing 9 or 10, that means you got to win 2 games to get into the playoff. If you in a 9 or 10 position, okay.
Yeah.
So these teams like the Heat, the Magic, and Atlanta, they have to watch it too. But Atlanta does play good postseason ball. They got to get it together here. But that's what it looked like to me.
Orlando got that potato salad that just something is missing.
Point
guard. They don't have a true point guard.
They got something. They got. It's like something missing. I don't think Atlanta or Orlando is going. They're gonna mess somebody's stats up as far as with that win. I don't think they're gonna make too much noise, but it is a good. They're showing a good presence that they got something to build on over there, and that the team isn't lost. I mean, people kind of really counted Orlando out. Shoot, I know my last Orlando love was when they had Dwight Howard. I'm cool. Atlanta has always been like a gnat. I don't think they got it yet either, so I'm not really too concerned with them. But I do think that they do. On a good night, they can mess up somebody else's run, like a seeding, like just that one game. On a good night, they can mess up somebody else's last seeding. But I'm not enough of a believer in either of those teams to think that they're gonna make a run at it this year.
Well, I'm not worried though, because right now, the Magic's ranked 8th in the Eastern Conference standings, and Atlanta's right behind them at number 9. So they're going to be duking it out, man, to get in the playoffs.
I'm gonna slide to the West real quick. The hottest ticket really in the NBA right now. We're talking about the Lakers. All of a sudden, from last night game, from them winning last night, they positioned themselves into the number 2 position in the West. Since January 12th, they've had the best defense in the league. What are we looking at? Is this Luka LeBron duo? Is it the real thing, or is it just something that's going to be hot for the next month, and then when the playoffs come, it's going to be a little bit different? Are they really, really that threat to contend for, like, really take the championship, like, especially end up representing the West?
I want to hear what Mr. Whiteside has to say.
I'm going to tell you, it's going to be hard to get by Oklahoma. Oklahoma City right now to me is like the top of the cream right now for the West. I don't know if this love affair between Luka and LeBron is going to carry them over to win it, because you still got Denver. The Lakers got to get by Denver, and I don't know. I don't think that this love affair is going to carry them to the championship. I think that they'll be in it, but I don't think that nobody gets by Denver and Oklahoma City.
Okay. So what you saying that they was that one game just like a fluke when they kind of ran over Denver and Denver tried to have to play catch up, or is it the seven game series that would matter more because they do have Jokic and they don't really have a big man? The Lakers really don't have a big man that can ball.
Right. It's a 7-game series, but when you see things like that, you have to take a lot of things into consideration. One, did they just get off the road, or they headed, and headed over to LA? People don't see that. Like, you get tired legs going and playing on a Sunday, but you get Monday off, but then you're Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Wednesday your travel day. Sometimes the legs just be like, look, man, I ain't got it. I can go out here and play hard, but I just ain't got it. And I'm attesting to that with this whole new Laker type of thing that, this hype, and the Lakers went out and played, but I don't know if they can continue that for 7 games.
Hey, you give it to us from like that coach's aspect, and that's dope. That's why I wanted to hear what you had to say on it. I'm just not a believer in. I mean, it's dope that Luka and LeBron is connecting. LeBron is a genius, and if you can kind of get Luka to buy into treating your body like a machine, of course you're gonna have nights where you're gonna boss up. But look who he's sitting next to, Mr. Physical Body Conditioning dude ever.
Right.
But 7 games, bro. I don't think they have it to where somebody can't figure it out, and those 2 somebodies is Denver. Then the number 1 is OKC. That boy SGA is an animal. Listen, and he's not. And the thing about him is he knows his position on his team, but he lets his team eat. A lot of people want that showmanship, and then when you get in playoff, they don't understand this team basketball. OKC been running team basketball this whole season. That's why they got the dominance and the stance they have now. They know how to beat you.
Let me ask you something, Steve, real quick. We're talking OKC, and OKC is balling out, and I mean, they are. I think they're the team to beat. But does experience play a part in that on the Lakers' behalf because they've been there, done that?
Off top, experience is always going to play a part, but what good is your experience if you don't have the physicality to back it up? Just like he said, man, them that traveling, and you travel. Let's say if it's LA and Denver, you're gonna be coming back up to that mile high, bro. Your body and your conditioning, Luka, you healthier, but you're not healthy. It's just different, bro. That 7 games is gonna hit you.
And people don't understand.
I'll be cool with 1. I'll be cool with 1 or 2. But game 3, I'm finna punch you in the mouth because I saw you got noodle legs.
Yeah, it's that air. People don't understand that air affects you. Even if you're in the gym, that air affects you. And in somebody like Luka, who's not in, I'll say, total shape, it'll get to you. But that's the European in him. They go out and drink beer and eat pizza and then come out and play a whole game. But that won't work against these young cats from Oklahoma City who act like they at William Land Park and they're not getting off the
Hey, Rick, who you got? Rick, who you got coming out? Give me your top. Matter of fact, give me the Western Conference. What you think? with what you see right now? Give me your Western Conference Finals.
The finals of the Western Conference. OKC definitely gonna be there.
Off top.
It's a coin toss with the other ones. You know what I mean? Man, I don't know, man. It's kind of messed up because I don't know what happened in Los Angeles with acquiring Mark Williams from the Hornets, but if they would have actually signed him, acquired him, they would have been a little better fit to try to challenge the Denver Nuggets. But Luka and LeBron is not going to be enough. But I want to say, man, you got OKC, and I want to say I think the Timberwolves, man, it's going to be because I've seen the games in the last 2 games they played in the last 2 weeks, and they've been going after each other's necks, man. And with Edwards and Gilgeous-Alexander going head to head like Dominique and Jordan, I think that's going to be the final.
I was waiting to see if you was going to bring up the Timberwolves, bro, on everything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I ain't going to lie. I'm a hopeful. I'm a hopeful. I want Golden State to be there, but, I mean, it ain't going to happen. But what you said, Timberwolves, like you just said, they do go back and forth, SGA and Edwards. Dang, Rick,
yeah, man. And not only that, the Timberwolves, they have a co-star and co-stars like Conley and and I guess Gobert is hurt right now, but they have other people like
he'll be
Jay
back.
Daniels.
I think he can be back healthy.
It don't matter. What Anthony Edwards dropped 44 points last night, didn't he, against the Suns or something? It don't matter. They don't need Gobert all the time.
Yeah, you got to understand.
Anthony Edwards will take over.
So they've been filling in with other players. But Alexander Walker, he's doing pretty good for them. He's actually upped his point average in the last 2 weeks. He went off in OKC. I think he almost had like 30 points going off on them the first time he played him 2 weeks ago. But they got surrounding cast, and they go back and forth. I mean, each team has a supporting cast, of players. So Edwards and Alexander, man, they be going head to head, neck and neck, man, and it goes for good entertainment.
Yeah. So, but Rick, let me ask you a question. Do you think that keeping little Bronny on the roster hampered them from making that trade?
Oh, that's a good question, man. Possibly so. Because I was wondering why, because he went right back. He went right back to the Hornets, and there was no problem. So that probably could have been the reason.
Yeah, I mean, I like the kid. I don't think that he's NBA ready, but I think that it's hurt. I think that it's hurt the Lakers trade wise by trying to keep him there.
Yeah, because it's a potential trade, baby. They're not letting him go because of his dad. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there was that legacy. They wanted that legacy built.
But, I mean, if they would have had Williams, though, if they would have had Williams in the middle right there, that's all they really needed, man, to help out that championship round with Luka.
As of today, what's the rankings? 1 through like 10. Tony, you got that? Do you know what it is?
As far as
the Lakers? I can run that down to you. Right now, we have the Thunder at 1. Lakers, number 2, Nuggets, number 3, Grizzlies, number 4, Rockets, number 5, the Clippers, number 6, the Warriors, who have been hot, number 7, Timberwolves, 8, and then down from there, the Kings, 9, Mavericks, 10, and the Suns, I don't know what's going on with the Suns. I don't know if the Suns know what's going on with them. They're at 11.
Number 14 at the end.
I just had to bring that up because the Sun is a mess right now. They ain't trying to make no playoffs or play in,
bro.
Yeah,
the Timberwolves lightweight scare me on the low. Now that you really said that, Rick, I'm sitting here thinking as everybody's talking. They got a lot of role players that they plugging and playing and seeing what can fit, and I think that's more so for the playoff run.
Nas Reed seems to be like he seems to be the big factor with that team because he can do so much.
Absolutely.
I like his game. He is one of those supporting players, but you can't count him out every game. He never gives up on a play. He plays really excellent defense. He rebounds really well for them. He's definitely the plug, that chemistry piece for that team.
He's really a stretch 5 that can go play a 4, and he causes problems for some of those post-up players because he's too athletic.
How would you use him, Coach? How would you use him?
I would use him as a stretch forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get him on the wing and have somebody come out on him and spread the floor out, let him go so he can kick
Yeah.
it to the shooters or get to the rim and throw one in somebody's face.
Yeah, Nas Reed's
Okay.
a beast. I've seen him play. I've been watching him, man, and I've been following the Timberwolves. And man, he can beat you with that. He has a heck of an outside shot, 3-point shot. He'll get you from the dotted line at the top, or he'll beat you in the paint with his quickness. So
Yeah.
he's really a very versatile player, which has been helping him ever since Julius Randle's been out. So his numbers been going up. So he's been an excellent major factor in the Timberwolves, defeating these teams around the league.
And he don't need the ball. He don't need you to call a play for him. He gonna go get
Right.
it.
But is Julius coming back before playoffs, or is he done for the season?
He might be coming back. But I don't know how that's going. It's going to be hard.
I think he might mess up the chemistry though. That'll mess up the chemistry. Like
I don't know.
I've always liked Julius Randle. He just too injury prone for me.
Yeah, you know what?
No.
I would wear on cautious and tell him, hey, keep him out for a little bit. Let them
Yeah. I don't even know if I want you back, bro. It's cool. Go sit down. You got a pair of Uggs? Go sit down. Just put the Suggs and the Snuggie on, bro.
Because if you watch them play, if they get on a roll, there's a time where he'll take the ball because now I got to shoot it. I don't care if you went on a roll and you hot, but I gotta shoot it now, and it kind of messes up that little roll they be having.
Yeah, I didn't like that trade.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see when Randle comes back for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. That's yet to be seen. Speed, you brought up something, man, at the beginning of this, bro. And I really want to jump into this. So we're going to jump off some basketball. We're going to jump into this Tank Davis and Lamont Roach fight. It was 3 scores. 2 of them show 114-114. The other was 115-113 for Davis. What was assumed to be a life-changing Roach upset instead turned into a majority draw and a controversial knee that Tank took. Let's talk about the fight.
Man, boy, listen, you know me. I love when you can throw a couple lefts or rights. Both fighters, bro, raw. I told Rick if there was somebody that I think could beat Davis, it was gonna be Roach. And then just watching a lot of his when the fights come, I start studying the boxers and going back and doing some research. That boy, he walked it like he talked it. I'm not gonna lie. As far as that knee, I don't know what was up with it, bro. When he did it, I'm like, dang, hold on, wait, did he spit in his face? Like, what happened? Because he seemed like he looked away first, and it was like signaled to knee, and then he kneed.
And then he kneed. But then you had the excuse, though. He said that he had just got his hair done, but not one time did this cat reach for his eyes or rub his eyes or anything like that. So that was the part that really got me. It was like, I didn't have Jerry curl juice in my eyeball before.
Come on. You had a Jerry curl?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I had the California curl, the Jerry curl. I had the soul glow. I had the braids.
How many couch cushions did you mess up? Y'all know y'all talking about some couch cushions.
Mama put the plastic back on her couch.
Watching it though,
sit on the plastic.
Yeah, I had the pleasure though. I had the pleasure of being with Rick, and I love how Rick watches things. He watches it from like an analytical point of view, as well as I. So it's good to bounce off ideas. And when we were sitting there watching a fight, it was almost like, I don't know, it kind of felt to me that Tank underestimated Lamont Roach. And I knew that it was something that they wanted to bring back up from them fighting when they was like 15, 16 years old. But I think he underestimated, bro. And when he got some of them punches hit, and he felt harder than what he thought. That needle. That needle, Rick. I was telling you.
I seen it, man. We were watching this speed, and I've seen it, but I was looking at Tank Davis's face. Every time he throw a punch, Roach would counter him, and he didn't expect it. Every time he did it, he countered him every single time. He hit him back. Like he was like, he's really as fast as me. Yeah, he's fast, just as fast, if not faster. And I think that was worrying Tank because usually Tank has an advantage on the opponent when he throws his jabs and throws his punches, and they don't know how to. They can't counter fast enough.
You know what?
Roach was on top of him. He was on his
They
line.
never gassed out. That's what made me like, this is a dope
He was
fight.
going, Roach was going punch for punch with him.
Yeah, they never gassed out. I know it has to be, and if they say it's not, it has to be a rematch.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rematch.
But I'm interested.
Oh, it's going to be
now.
a rematch.
That
Yes, it has to
rematch
be.
is probably what's going to be the most viewed because of what took place in this one. These were two good boxers. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there was some controversy on one end more than the other, but physicality and mental toughness, you just underestimated him. Now you better prepare, bro, because that dude coming in that ring for to take his head off.
I think that they were in the middle of the ring one time, and Davis gave him a shot, and Roach came back with a left uppercut, and Davis stepped back like, whoa, 2 steps back. He's like, whoa.
Hey, he woke his game up. I remember getting hit like that when I was a kid. I know exactly what that to do. My mama used to hit me like that, just like how Roach, bro. I'm not even gonna sit and hold you. I know exactly what that felt like. I was a challenge to you. I think that's the good word we can say. So I was a limit pusher. There it is. And that punch, it'll make you think twice about what you're gonna do before you do it the next time. Hey, man, yeah, he hit him, but it woke game up. I mean, it woke Tank up because he's used to being an aggressor. He's used to controlling the pace of the fight. Yeah. You couldn't do so with Roach. You couldn't do it. He had his own agenda, and he was gonna push his line to the T as he did. I can't wait to see the next one. Me and Reeves over there going crazy.
And they're gonna have a rematch. We'll probably see it around this spring or summer or something like that. But they definitely want.
Yeah, you can't do it too low. Nah, I want it instant. Don't take too long. Give me
Don't take too long.
Oh, they're putting the papers together right now. It's going to be a rematch.
By June or July, we should be seeing another one.
About another 6 months, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we got the Crawford Alvarez fight too coming up.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
September, I believe.
Elijah, I got a question for you, Elijah. Let's talk about Fresno State recently removing his second player from the basketball team because of the gambling investigations that they have. Guard John Weaver, and man,
Prize Picks is messing them boys up.
What's up with that, Elijah? What's going on down there with the Bulldogs, brother?
Man, I think it might be some trumped up charges in a kangaroo court, but honestly, I think the microscope was on them, but that they should have known better to go and place bets on themselves and play with themselves. Go out there, play their numbers, go sit back down on the bench and collect a little change. And they shouldn't have did that. That was like, have you learned anything? Do y'all know what Pete Rose did? Did y'all know what happened in the legacy of Fresno about what happens, especially in that school? You guys shouldn't have did that. And especially with the NC2A trying to make a big push on people not gambling over the NC2A sports. Yeah, you're going to be under the microscope. They're going to come after you first.
Hey, I got to step my metaphors up, man. He should have trumped up charging the kangaroo court.
The vernacular that Elijah has is hella dope. But you know what they need with these new NIL deals? They need, like, remember when you came into the league? They need like mentors. They really need like mentors to help groom them for a certain period. Your first 2 years of getting an NIL deal or whatever, first 7 months, you have to complete these certain mentor programs, training programs. And in that, you know what not to do. You getting paid, fool. NFL players can't do it.
They actually do. They actually do, Speed. They have like proctors, that school these athletes. It's in supposed to be in every athletic department. To school these athletes about the money that they're getting, that they're using, and they tell them about the betting and all that stuff like that. And they also watches over the money that comes into these programs, so they know what player is getting what type of money and what they're doing with the money as well. So it's a program built in, NIL. It's still, they still got to smooth out some edges and things like that, but they do have like a proctor to handle these type of issues.
Do they do this out of their own accounts though?
Pardon?
Well, most of these schools now in the NCAA D1 wise and D2, they are hiring general managers now because they have to have somebody in place, like Tony was saying, to oversee this money. I know the University of North Carolina just hired a general manager. His job is particularly to make sure this kid's money is put away somewhere when he's done with college, that he has this money, and that this kid ain't going out buying Benzes and Lamborghinis to try to show somebody he's got an NIL deal. It's becoming more of a business than it is anything else. I interviewed for the general manager position at Sac State with 78 different programs. So it's becoming more of a business. And yeah, they're going to start managing some of these kids' money, or they need to, I should say.
Listen to them, folks. This is why we have these coaches on here to explain, the experiences and things that they go through. 78 applicants, Coach Wilson, that you had to.
No. There's 78 different programs at Sac State.
78 different programs.
Running
okay.
And now my daughter just graduated from Sac State. She played softball there. She finished with about, I don't know, say 40 grand. And that was a light end because we were telling her, you don't need that money. We got you. These other kids that don't have that money, go let them get that money. But there's some girls that I know out there who basically get the money and they're just blowing it away. And you're on scholarship, so everything's paid for. They just need somebody to direct that money to them correctly. We put it in place for our daughter that she'll never see that money until she turns 40. You got some of these kids out here making $1 million, and the first thing they want to do is let me go take all my homies out, spend this money on them. And it does need to be watched to make them. I mean, because if you're in a D1 program, and I'll say D1 because all the programs are the same, but D1,
right?
If you're in that program, you really don't have to do anything. After practice, they got stuff for you to eat. You can take most of that junk home. Then you have dinner with the team. So as far as needing money, you really don't need no money. And half of these cats are dating girls who work at Subway or else.
Talk about it, Coach. They
speak on
chicks that's gonna Uber you something to eat anyway
right.
at 2 in the morning. Yeah,
right.
I mean, and we're gonna go back a little bit. When I played at North Carolina State, my girlfriend worked at Pixie Dixie, and I would get the hamburger meat that was about to be expired 4 or 5 days. I'd get that.
Is that why you got with her though, Coach?
And I didn't have to pay.
Is that why you got with her? Tell the truth. You can tell it's us. You can tell us the truth. Is that why you got with her back in the days? That's a plug. Well, I don't think that's what you said.
No. I used to. I used to be at Fresno State because I was in media relations during the basketball thing, during the Tarkanian era, and some of these guys were getting taken care of off of the thing. People telling them to go to the elbow room, and people going ahead and getting everything taken care of. These guys are living. They have everything was taken care of for them. All these restaurants and these boosters would be like, look, let me at least feed you.
So then the actions of these young men, did they do it out of their own personal betting sites? Like, was it signed up? For instance, D-Speed at Prize Picks. You can see that it's me, but I'm also D-Speed that plays, two guard at Fresno.
Yeah, they were doing it like that, D.
That's dumb. You deserve to get caught.
And you betting on your own performance. You betting. Hey, Coach Wilson, let me ask you this though. Because with I think it was Michael Robinson who was allegedly doing these betting for his fantasy performance. It was only like $50 or something like that, man. What is it? And the reason why I bring that because we didn't see these scandals before. Community College of New York, 1951. Tulane had to issue in 1985. Elijah mentioned, Pete Rose and things like that. Art Schlichter, when he was at Ohio State, turned out to be a disease with him. He went to prison. He's over the phone, making bets, behind the prison. What goes on behind the mind of these, these athletes, especially these student athletes that think they, that they can do something like this and get away just to make a little chunk of change. What's your thoughts on that?
That's because you already spoke on it. The alumni. When you wake up Monday morning and there's an envelope underneath your door, and there's, at the time $1,000, $1,500 in it. What are you going to do? and one of those alumni's son is supposed to be following you and making sure everything's done correctly. He's telling you, look, man, here, take this $50 and go put it on this. The smart ones back in our day was telling him, here, man, $50, go post that, go play that for the Celtics and the Knicks game. You know, give me my 3 points. He did it, win it, bring it back to him. Now these kids, I'm not gonna say they're dumb, but now these kids don't understand. You're being watched more than when we were playing. You know what I mean? I went to North Carolina State. You'd go to the club, and there'd be cats coming up in there in Mercedes, and everybody wondering where they get that Mercedes from. But one of the alumni is a car dealer, and he tell them, man, just use this car whenever you need it. Matter of fact, here, check the glove box. I got a little.
Oh, they tried to Jesus Shuttlesworth them then, huh?
Yeah,
That's that old school he got game, that Jesus Shuttlesworth.
All of it.
Man. Hey, man, I get it though, but like you said, and I don't know, my take on it is weird. If you are in this status, you have this position, why would you want to even put it at risk? I'm in college and I'm making money. Why would I want to? If I'm hooping and my boy is Rick, hey Rick, put this 50 on me, bro. I'm finna go off tonight. I'm not gonna do it under my name.
The smart
way.
Hey,
Rick, put this on me. I'm finna go crazy. It's smart.
Well, you know, I think for me, as a person who bets on fantasy all the time, I think a lot more players are doing that, and they're not getting caught yet. They're probably doing what D Speed is saying they're doing, and then people put the money on the account.
I'm gonna tell you who. I'm gonna tell you somebody who's probably the biggest offender of that back in my day.
Who?
You got him on your chest.
Oh, MJ, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
that's right. He had a disease. He's probably still got that disease.
Michael Jordan would bet fools. I bet you I can get to such and such before you do.
Yeah.
Because he knew those dudes didn't have a car and he was going to have one of them girls take it.
Dang, boy.
And it was just it's like Tony say, it's a disease, and when you get caught up in it, it's really hard to get out of it. It's really hard.
I'm finna create something like that in the barber world. Rick, we gonna do it. I bet you can't finish this fade in 10 minutes.
Right.
Hey, Rick, if they making money
we
they
do
doing
it
it
all the time in barber college.
Hey,
why we can't? That's exactly what we used to do in barber college, bro. On everything, I bet you I can get this fade in 10 minutes.
That's real talk.
Why not?
That's real
money off of it.
I clocked in 7 minutes.
We got a few minutes left. Let's jump over to this next one. Now, I really want to talk about this. Let's talk about the NFL a little bit. We know Matthew Stafford's staying where he's going to stay. But really, the big story is Speed, and I'm going to ask you to delete this one.
Don't ask
The
Speed.
Niners just traded Debo Samuels to the Commanders. It's not official until March 12th. But at the same time, what does this mean for that division and the NFC?
Speed.
Don't talk to me right now.
Speed.
Rick,
okay, I got something to say first before you go. I got something to say.
What?
I was the one who let D Speed know what happened. Okay. Saturday night, I told him and a friend of mine, they're both 49er fans. I said, hey man, did you know that Debo Samuels went to the Commanders for a 5th round pick? He was like, what? No. I said, he's gone, man. And they were in depression ever since. I think D Speed's still in depression.
It might be. Rick, that's your division. You're an Eagles fan. What does that do for? I mean, don't get me wrong. They still need to make more moves. But what is that? That doesn't help them?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Man, look,
I mean, I don't think Debo gonna even stay healthy enough for the whole year anyway. We ain't worried about that.
Well, you know, I agree with you because one thing is this: Debo will never be the Debo he was in 2019.
No,
I think he's an addition. I think he does help. I think he gives them extra weapon. But at the same time, they're going to make him his number 2. He's going to be the number 2 receiver. Debo, we already know he doesn't have the greatest hands. His play has just declined so much over the years. But I think it does give Jaden Daniels that extra to where you still got to watch him coming out of the backfield.
He's a
Debo got 12 career fumbles. 12.
Debo,
and he's only been in the league 6 years.
You give him too much, Rodney. He's gonna be my number 3. I'm not giving you.
Oh wow.
Hey,
Well, explain, coach.
I'm,
they the Commanders already kind of stated that he's going to be their number two. I wouldn't make him my number two, definitely, but they already kind of stated he's going to be number two.
hey, that's radio talk. Ain't no way you're
Yeah,
gonna make number two, and you don't know if he gonna walk out of the he gonna walk out of the locker room one day, and next thing you know, he got a torn hamstring. I'm not putting my money on him, bro.
I think he was
Yeah.
worth
How you want to
way
delete
more than a
You gonna
fifth
keep wearing
round.
them.
I'm gonna agree with you on the fifth round. I think that
He was worth way
way more than that.
more than a fifth round. That's
But
where
I
I'm
don't think
hurt
it
at.
was. I don't think it was worth one for fifth round.
Yes, he was, bro.
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna tell you this.
analyze the 49ers. The 49ers have been known to do us brothers like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us
Ooh,
Look
a
here.
way.
ooh.
Because
Last season,
think about it.
last
They
season
gave
he had 51 catches. Oh, go ahead,
right.
finish, coach. I'm sorry.
Right. No, they waited, didn't want to negotiate with him until they gave McCaffrey his money. They told him, okay, now we fed you. Oh, sorry, we only got this much left. You want it?
I think
And you guys
that's
let Armstead
absolutely
walk.
What?
that was my first one.
You
Right
want to
there,
pay
Rick. Right
Armstead.
what you just said. You let Armstead go. Why?
You want to pay
Okay.
That
him.
hurt him a lot.
Now also nothing against Christian McCaffrey, but what was his problem in Carolina? Injury prone.
Injury.
Okay, pay him a lot of money, but do you pay him that much? All right. I don't think it's at enough at the risk to not want to pay Debo, but his stock value has went down on our team and his ability, not only ability to perform but to stay healthy. So I get it, but a fifth round, I would have at least, bro. That's too low.
It's
That's
all
like
about them.
almost
Let
saying
me explain. This was
we
his
don't
stats for
value
last.
you.
They
This was
traded
his
for a
stats
fifth
for
round
last
because the
season.
pants he was wearing.
This was his stats for last season. 51 catches for 670 yards, only 3 touchdowns. Carried the ball 42 times for 136 yards, 1 touchdown, two fumbles, two fumbles. His production has went down completely. To me, with all these injuries, he gets hit too much coming out of that backfield running.
But
All
Tone, you
right,
let
I don't
him
like
go.
receivers getting hit like that.
You
That's
let
like
him
running through
go.
the middle every time for a receiver. You know you're gonna get blasted and stuff.
We'll see
All
what
Yeah,
right,
happened
but
to
you
Trey
so
still let
Lance.
him go. You just don't let him go for a fifth round. I get it. I'm not saying that we should have kept him. No. When they was talking about he wanted to trade, I'm like, all right, cool, bet. Because you weren't as productive as we know that you used to be, and I don't even know if you can be now. But a fifth round, that's where you got me shut. Rick, what was the face that I made? What was the face that I made real quick, Rick, when you told me? It wasn't like, okay, it kind of was. It kind of was.
They gave
No,
you a
it's
real
all about that. It's all about that front market cap. Think about it. Now that
Yeah.
you do that, the trend is there. They got rid of Eric.
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
He's saving money.
they don't want to pay these guys that are producing. Don't get me wrong, Debo had an okay season, but he was playing the thing. They're trying to play Moneyball.
Yeah.
So
They
then where do
saving
you
money.
it's a business, so I get it. And we're never gonna know from the player standpoint what
Right.
they feel their market value is and all that. We're still gonna speak and understand it from the viewer point. I don't know the back office what happens. So I get
Right.
it.
you putting all the eggs in one basket with Brandon Ayuk out. I mean, we don't know if he's going to be back at the start of the season.
Well, at least we know where they're going. At least I know what they're focusing on. Now they're gonna have to focus on that receiving core. Ayuk wasn't
Definitely.
really too much healthy. Now we got Debo gone. You have to focus on. I mean, it's a lot of dopeness that happened for that team, the Niners. My team, I should say, that happened. I'm still elated that we got Solid back, but on that receiving core, my eyebrows are raised now. Ayuk
So
is a
you
hell of a
think they're going to they're going to be dependent on people like Jennings and Ricky Pearsall,
most
going
definitely
forward?
upgrade them because it's your time. It's your moment to shine. It's your time. They showed improved this season. Jennings has improved. Pearsall has made himself be known prior to the accident that started his season. So yeah, it's your time to shine. But you need somebody who can also be a distraction and still give you some numbers. Of course, if we bring in IU back, he's going to be roped right in. Give me somebody who can be a distraction and give me some numbers. I heard the rumors. Remember, Rick, we was talking about I think it was Tyreek Hill wanted to go, and maybe even Devontae Adams. I'm cool for Devontae coming back. He a big boy like me. I would love to see him in that red and gold. But now with those two question marks, I'm interested to see where they're going to focus their receiver position needs at.
Right. All right. Let's jump from football to football. At this time, I want to bring in Mr. Marcos Quintana. Mr.
Cubanio
Quintana.
Stanio.
Mr. Quintana, what's up, man? Let's talk about the Champions Leagues, the UEFA, and then it starts up March 4th, right, which is tomorrow. Again, and then the Sunday, yesterday on MLS, Vancouver defeated LA Galaxy 2-1, and Houston Dynamo loses to Inter Miami 4-1. What's going on? Not only with the Champions League, but a quick review of the MLS too.
All right. Well, first I want to start by saying thank y'all for having me back here again, and shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
Nick. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Well, let's just start tomorrow, Tuesday, right? We got Club Bruges versus Aston Villa. We got Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. We have PSV versus Arsenal, and then we have Borussia Dortmund. So that's the first leg of the Champions League for these teams, and then on Wednesday, we have Feyenoord versus Inter. We have Bayern versus Leverkusen. We have Benfica versus Barcelona. We have PSG versus Liverpool. So last 16 starts this week. It's exciting. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited. One of my teams, Barca, hopefully go through, right? And then otherwise from that, like you said earlier, from MLS, right, we have Vancouver versus LA Galaxy, who won in the last minute. On 87th minute, they scored their goal, which is really surprising to me because, as we know, LA Galaxy is actually the reigning MLS Cup champions that won the Cup last year. So it's shocking. It is still, the beginning of the season and whatnot, but we'll see how it goes because they shouldn't have lost this game, but unfortunately. So, yeah.
Hey,
All
Marcos,
right.
real quick. You cold?
I'm cool, man. I got this little
No,
thing.
are you free? You over there shaking, brother? You good? You bouncing up and down? You that excited about soccer, huh?
I love soccer.
I'm with you,
Yeah,
big dog.
I'm ready to kick these balls around.
Hey, man,
Huh?
he over there ready. As he's talking about it, you see the energy. Oh, and this coming tomorrow. I'm like, man, is
Like
he
it's about
close,
to get
coach? Or,
started.
bro, I
Hey,
didn't
man.
know what was popping off.
Oh,
Go
man.
ahead, dog. That's what's up.
So we got about a few minutes left. I'm gonna turn this over to Mr. I'm gonna say Coach Whitsett, Coach of the Year from Monterey Trail. Tell her, introduce yourself again. Tell them who you are, what you do.
Well, first of all, David Whitsitt. I've been coaching girls basketball for 30. This is my 37th year. And for me, I'm not one of those coaches that this right now to me is a lot of attention. I just like to do my work and get on about it. I've been coaching AAU basketball for 27 years. I was one of the originals who started the circuit. We separated what they call the shoe teams: Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, and each of those shoes have a circuit that everybody plays on. So I've been doing that for a while with Just Believe Sports. Sean Chambers is the director. Sean played 15 years over in the Philippines. He's over there now, trying to get me to come over and be one of the coaches for the Phil-Am national team. But I'm married to a black woman. I ain't going over to the Philippines.
Get in trouble over there. Get in trouble over there.
Tell him, coach.
Passport boys.
I know that's right.
I'm one of the lucky brothers. And pardon me for 35 seconds to talk about my wife. My wife saved my life. We were dating, and I never knew that I was diabetic. I just thought because I ate all that and I drank that soda and went to sleep, that's what I was supposed to do. One night she made me go to the hospital. And if you guys are aware with blood sugar, my blood sugar was 627.
Pretty high.
He asked me, why are
Too
you
high.
standing here right now? And I told him, I said, no, nothing wrong with me. And he said, he showed me a chart, and he told me I was on the end to die, basically. So she hunker down, man, and just, got me back together. My coaching, I never understood. My father passed away 2.5 years ago. And I went to him one day, and he's a preacher, Mount Calvary Baptist Church. And I asked him, I said, man, I don't know why I'm here. And he told me, he said, son, he said, God put me at the pulpit. He put you in them girls' lives so they could see that all men ain't like what they're experiencing. And I have girls to this day will call me and ask me questions. I'm like, why didn't you ask your dad? And you're like, I don't know, coach, I need it from you. So I always take the time out to make sure that the girls understand that if I'm on you, there's a reason why I'm on you. A lot of parents, and if you guys have kids, please don't collar them, because then they come up to me and then they think I'm being mean, but I'm not being mean. I'm trying to let you know that you got something special. And by sitting there crying because she touched you, it's a whole difference. We're talking about the East and the West Coast. It's the same in girls and boys basketball. The East Coast, when we go to Oklahoma, or if we go to New York to play in these Adidas tournaments, they are more physical than they are here in California. And our girls, the first time they play, they're like, oh my God, she just threw an elbow at me. Yeah, get up off her. That's what she's telling you. Get in the weight room. So a lot of things that I do, I try to emulate what's going to happen when they get on the road. I tell the girls, I tell the parents, I'm not here to teach you how to play high school basketball. I'm here to teach you how to play at the next level. And to finish up, I'm proud to say that as of today, I just got 2 more girls going Division I. So I'm at about 115. But I appreciate it, but I don't need, I like what I do.
You sound a little bit like Dion a little bit, coach.
I'm good.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm hearing you talk because I like the coaching mindset of Dion. I like how he breaks down the game and can deliver it to his boys. But what you just touched on is with the parent portion of it. It's like these girls look up to you and they look to you for advice in these situations because you attack them from a point that they might not get in the household. But you
Right,
understand that. That's
right,
hella dope. I mean, we as barbers, we understand our responsibility and roles as well in this industry, and everybody else who like Tone and even Elijah, we understand our importance. You just found your level, along with the validation that you got from your dad, that's where you belong. That's where it's meant. Like you're coaching them to play at the next level. We're not bad. I'm not going to teach you the sport of basketball. I'm gonna teach you how to excel yourself in this sport of basketball to reach a higher level of expertise and understanding. That's dope, bro. I
yeah.
personally commend you
I
on
have
that.
parents. I have parents that'll call me and say, you need to come. You need to talk to your girl.
Hmm.
Basically. But it takes, people don't understand. It takes the parents to. I tell my girls no right now. Don't try to sneak nothing over on me.
Hmm.
I was raised by 2 women. My 2 sisters raised me with my mom, and it's gotten to the point now where the girls be like, okay, you can't say that because Coach Day know what that is. You
Hmm.
know, I've got 9 grandchildren, and I teach all of my grandchildren to be who they are, no matter what people want you to be. If
There
you
you
want
go.
to be a paper airplane maker, then damn it, we're gonna be we're gonna be the best paper airplane makers we got. That's what we're
Thanks.
gonna be.
That's
Thanks.
what's up.
Too many times we try to steer kids the way we see them fit, and
Hmm.
that's not in them. You know, Marcos could probably tell you. You may have a kid out there that his mom and dad is telling him, you're not a good soccer player. Your brother was a great football player. Okay, but that was him. I can play soccer. I know what I'm doing. And until the parents come out and support, and people don't understand this, Rodney probably can, because at Highlands we had that support. When the parents show up, your kid gives me a whole different dimension. When they see you in the stands,
Hmm.
like, that's my mama right there.
But how many
Coach,
times you get that coach? How many times you get them parents who be trying to coach on the sidelines? So that's what I be wondering,
but
especially in the
but
lower
but see, you
levels.
know what though? I
Huh.
have I have a rule when the beginning of the year, I get with my parents and I tell them, I said, there's no halftime coaching and there's no in-game coaching. If you want to do that, I can make it easy. I'll put her here on the bench, and you can talk to her as much as you want to.
Wow.
Because you're telling her right, and I'm telling her left. She's going to go where you tell her because she don't want to listen to you in the car. Why did you do what I told you? I told you should have did this. They would rather come to practice the next day, and we run what we call a sandwich. It's a suicide, a 17, and then a suicide. They would rather run that and have to get it done in 4.5 minutes than listen to their dad or mom get on them.
Oh, you that type of coach. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where was you when I was playing sports? I didn't listen. Where the hell?
Probably was coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he got that.
37 years, huh?
Hey, he got
Hey,
that
Coach
Lee Harvey
Whit,
coach approach.
You
Remember, he got that Mr. Clark coach approach, bro. That lean on me.
You know what though?
Every-
Honestly, there's a brother. He's passed now. John Harrington. He's a black guy out of he in Fairfield. He was in the Air Force. A friend of my father's. He was a coach, and I used to watch him coach. And I should say, that's who I'm gonna be, because he would be hard on him, and then when he's done being hard on him, he'd pull him to the side of him, and he'd say, "Look, this is what I need from you." So he would beat him, but then he would encourage him at the same time, and that's what I try to do with these girls.
you posted a 19-6 record overall and 12-0 in the Delta League. I know your season expired a couple weeks ago against Indicom in the sectionals. But you reflect back on this season and how successful this was. This is just to compliment some of the things that D Speed just mentioned.
First of all, the reason why we lost in the playoffs, I had 2 kids who missed study hall, and I have a rule: you miss study hall, you don't play the first half. And the parents were like, Coach, can you break the rule? I said, no, because who's going to break that rule when they're in handcuffs because they broke the rule? The ones who know me back me. Even one of the girls' father told me, he goes, "No, I ain't mad at you, Coach. She broke the rules." I've tried to play a schedule where we were going to be challenged every game, and for their growth to get into the preseason. My preseason was ranked 8th in the section.
Okay.
Because it was a strenuous, behind the Folsoms and the McClatchies. But I'm just like, no nonsense, man. I don't. You ain't got to put it between your legs, go behind your back, curl over, do all that. Just a simple crossover and get to the bucket. I believe in telling my girls, go beat her up. You get
That's
to the
what
rack,
I'm talking about. That's
you're going soft. And parents will tell you, and matter of fact, I'm coaching the All-Star game April the 5th at Folsom Lake College. And I tell the girls, I say, look, if you want to be seen, go be heard. And they go, Coach, how do I do that? Make your game loud. And it don't have to be loud with 20 points and 15 rebounds. You can give me 14, 6, and 3, and it could be a loud game because of what you did. How'd she get that layup? She banged her. Boys do it. Boys do it.
All the time.
Everybody used to ask me. My daughters were softball players and volleyball players, and I used to sit away from everybody because everybody would be, Coach, what do you think? I got Father David on my forehead today. I'm not a coach.
There it is.
I don't go talk to my daughters. I give them a 24-hour wait unless we get in the car and they start talking about it. But I give them a 24-hour wait before we talk about anything that happened at the game. And I ask my parents to do the same thing. You really think that your kid came out there and had 6 turnovers because that's what they wanted to do? No, they just had a bad game. Let it go. Quit beating them up.
Right.
That's what's up.
Well, you know what? I think this is one of the better episodes. Coach Whitsett, Coach Witt, I want to thank you, man, for coming on here and really giving us that perspective of where you gave it from. You see it through the eyes from a coach who has done it for many, many years, decades on decades. I want to thank you for joining us on this HAIRitage Sports Talk. For the rest of my team, Mr. D Speed, Mr. Elijah Lewis,
Speed,
Fame, and Marcos. Thank you guys. Tony,
Rick Fame,
you
Marco's the
already
Cuban, and Barber.
every Monday morning. Until
Thanks,
next
Coach.
time, remember
Thanks, you
this.
guys, man. Appreciate you guys.
I
Much
want
love.
to. This is Heritage Sports Talk, where we talk about everything on outside, the inside, and in the cut. We listen to the rumors, but we only talking the truth, y'all. So until next time, Heritage Sports Talk, one love. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button so you know when we coming on. Peace.
Peace.
For the love.